Hello folks, welcome to the channel. Soon to be stacking investments with your host, the Perp still. I will always be the Perp, even though I do when it comes time to actually get time to do the channel change. We're going back to old school on the channel. We're going back to what's in the box. For the new viewers, what's in the box is where my LCS purchases go until I have a chance to film it for you. Then I determine if it goes in an album collection, in a box for my permanent stack, or another box for future sell, trade, or upgrade for gold when that GSR works in my favor. And let's do this. I hadn't been to my LCS, well, since I did the road trip with my dad. Just before that, I hadn't seen my LCS, and that's been a week and a half, I think, something like that. So I stopped in, and I divided this purchase out. I'm going to get 3 videos so I don't make them too long. Help shorten the videos. And I was in, letting them know how the trip went, what I've been doing. I've been busy. I got back to town and saw kind of the things happen. My heating and air business, started getting busy with that. Still having fun time with Dad on the weekend, going to the markets, the local markets. And I had to fix the lights on one of the trailers because it blew 4 fuses in my truck on my lights. So I had fun figuring that out and rewiring the trailer. And I was in there talking, but let me show you these first before we get into a topic I'm going to get into. As you know, I selectively purchase. I've always said for a long time that when I go to the LCS, I do my selective purchasing. I buy stuff specifically for my collection. If I'm missing a coin in my collection, I'm looking for that. But when it comes to just generic stuff or anything I put in the deep stack or the future sell, trade, upgrade, and whatnot, I'm very selective with that. And I like to buy the stuff that has what I call built-in equity, because I'm looking for short-term holds. What I talk about with short terms, what I mean by that, for me, because I am now 55 and soon to be 56, and so for me, the short, mid, and long term is going to be different than somebody say in their 30s or even their 20s. Everything varies. But short term to me is something that I put my money in with the intentions of flipping it within a year or less, possibly up to 2 years. That meaning selling it at flea markets, selling on eBay, friends, family, kind of like I'm doing with the stamps Dad got a hold of that I offered you guys for a deal. That is still open. So just shoot me an email if you're interested in the stamps. But I've adjusted my strategies here. And like I said, short term is a year or less on a flip, investing in whatever I do, like I did the mop handles, the ammo cans, some military items. We're doing the stamps. I'm getting into some collectibles that I can turn around and flip. When we talk mid-range, as far as that, I don't like to, it just doesn't sound right mid-term. Mid-range investment is something that I consider I would hold on to for possibly 5 years. And that would be like the sweet spot that I would hold it for. Some things buying now, letting them appreciate, gain some momentum, and supplies dwindle, and on certain items, or just the collectibles that I think are gonna go up in value. This, everybody has their own way of doing. I'm just showing you what I do. I'm not a financial advisor, but that mid-range could be anywhere from like a 2-year hold possibly to maybe a 7-year hold. anything I'm putting in the permanent stack is what that's going for my long term. That is going to be 10 years or more, unless I see a chance to pull some stuff out and make substantial profits, or something comes up that, some kind of emergency or whatever. That's what that's for. As far as my numismatic collections, I have those specified. If something happens and I deplete my immediate, or my stuff that I'm willing to sell at a moment's notice, if I deplete that, then I deplete the deep stack or the permanent stack, which is my stuff I really don't want to get rid of, but it's on the chopping block if emergency comes up. Then I start getting into the numismatic side, and I have those arranged to where, like my Lincoln cents, my Jefferson nickels, my Merc dimes, my Washington quarters, which I have 2 complete sets of the silver version. Those, I have my 12 working on 13 Benji albums, so 11 of those would be on the chopping block. I have 2 piece dollar sets. One of those would be on the chopping block first. I got my Walker set, would be kind of towards the end of that selling stage. Then it would be the complete piece dollar set. The Ike set would go. My Morgan Dollar, just the date set, which goes by year, no mint marks, just the year. That would be on the chopping block. And the last thing I would want to get rid of would be my completed Morgan date set, date and mint mark set. If I ever sell that Morgan set, I will never try to put another one together. So I'm just fortunate to be in the 100,000 club, and to actually physically own a completed Morgan date mint mark set, which there's only 100,000 possible combinations, and that's because of the 93S. But anyways, let's get into this right here. This is one of those. I've showed this coin before. I think I had 2 of them. These coins are selling on eBay for $45 to $50, or this round, I should say, not coin, this round. It's a vintage silver piece, and my LCS just happened to have another one, and their generic prices, at least quoted to me, was 25 an ounce. So seeing as they're selling on eBay for 45 to 50 bucks, this was a no-brainer. I already knew when I saw this round, it's like, what's the price? They told me 25. No-brainer. I'm taking it, because like I said, they're selling on eBay for 45 to 50. And I'll give you a close-up of this. I've showed these before, but as PMG likes to call it, let's do the perp and see if I can get that. The worldwide mint since, was that 1881? Yep, or 1981, since 1981. Worldwide Mint, Inc., 1981. And then you have your American Eagle, 999 fine silver, 1 ounce round. It's a pretty cool piece. Third one I have. I don't like stack. I've told y'all I don't like stacking the same old, but when I run across something that's vintage that has the built-in equity that this does, I will stack multiples of it. I would much rather have this than even a Britannia or Maple or even a Silver Eagle. So there's that. That's going in the since I got 3, I'll probably take 2 of them and get them into the potential sell or trade box, and then I'll hold 1. I'll probably keep the best one. Then I got this American Eagle 999 fine silver, 1 troy ounce silver bar, and this is also the worldwide mint. So I now have 2 pieces I'll show you that again, give you a good close-up. I now have 2 pieces from the Worldwide Mint. And so I will, whichever one of these I keep for the permanent collection, I will put this bar with it because they are from the same mint. Now to the controversial part of the video. This is going to, I know I'm going to get some flack. As we know, many channels out there are telling you to buy your silver and just hold. Don't ever sell. But after my discussion with my LCS today, I have decided to, before I get that, let's show you what I got here. My LCS had a $100 bag of Washington quarters. They had a box where they had opened up one of the bags and dumped it into a bin. So there was a $100 face of Washington quarters, Barbers, Standing Liberties in the bin. They had another bin with probably $70, $80 worth of mix of Mark Dimes or Roosevelts. I didn't have time to go through that and look at dates and things like that and search through. But I asked them the price because before I left on the road trip with my dad, it was 22 times face. I know that seems a little high depending on your area in there. Some people were still getting it at 20, 21 or whatever. But when I asked the price, because I stacked up some stuff, and they told me 24 times face. That was the going rate. And I told them, I said, well, man, I'm watching a lot of stuff and people are saying they're still getting it for 19 and 20. And what they told me was whatever LCSs are doing that are behind the times and missing the boat because, and they told me what, if they bagged it up and sent it off to their wholesaler, what they were paying. And that's why they got to charge 24 times face, because if they can't get that, the next best thing is to send it to their wholesaler. There is something going on with silver, and let me show you these coins. I got this Standing Liberty. I'm trying to top up a tube. It's a 1927. So I picked this because it's got some dings, but I'm trying to top off a tube of dated Standing Liberties. And then I got some Barbers. Most of these are common dates. It's a 1899. It's a Philadelphia. I got to compare that with my album because that's not a bad looking coin there. Then I got this one, 1914. Let's do the perp again. Yep, just a Philly. And got this 1910. And I'm a little off on I didn't have my handy dandy notebook where I marked better date and semi-keys and stuff, but so I'm not familiar. See, that's why I'm trying to do like everybody else. But you got to bump your loop up against the camera lens, and then you get a good thing. This is a Philadelphia. But in any case, that was the best of what they had in the Barbers in that bin. I didn't search the other bag. They said I could, but I didn't have time. Maybe another day if they still have it. But I got these mainly to go ahead and top up some tubes. Now here's the interesting thing. And I was on this is part of my strategy now. I was on Keith from Coin Crew. He does it every 2 weeks. Keith and his brother and Rob from Coin Op, they do a live stream, and I was in there and I posted in a comment because they were talking about face, what face was going for. And I made a comment. I said my LCS is charging 24 times face, and to them that was the consensus that constitutional silver, whether it be Washington quarters, Roosevelt dimes, Mercury dimes, things like that. The going rate where all three of them are located, $24 an ounce, is the selling price. They say that half dollars are bringing $25, or 25 times face. My LCS, it doesn't matter if it's a Barber dime, Mercury dime, or Roosevelt dime. Doesn't matter if it's a Washington quarter, Standing Liberty quarter, Barber quarter. Doesn't matter if it's a Barber half, Walking Liberty half, a Franklin, or the 64 Kennedy. It's a flat 24 times face, whatever is in the box. So they don't distinguish between denominations or coin types at my LCS. The only time they pull something out, if it's a better date or better condition coin, then when they run across them, they card those up and actually they don't card them up, they put them in flips. They have their little logo page and they put it in their showcase with a price. But I thought, damn, 24 times face. I mean, holy cow. So anyways, in the video, on the live stream, Coin Cruise live stream, I posted that, my LCS is charging 24 times face. And I'm seriously contemplating liquidating 25% of my constitutional stack, whether it be the Barber stuff, not so much the Standing Liberties because I don't have much of that with dates, possibly some Barber quarters. See, I could do Barber halves, Barber quarters, Walking Liberty halves, some of my Franklins, Kennedys if I have them, and I'm thinking about liquidating 25%, and that's what they thought, and all three of them said I should hold, and they were talking about, well, if I sell them at the LCS, if I get anything less than 19, but I don't think they realized I wasn't talking about selling them to the LCS as a liquidation. I'm talking about doing like a peer-to-peer, person-to-person, not going to and selling to the coin store. I'm talking about outside of the coin sales. Like, I'm not going to do it on eBay, but eBay would be one of the sources. But just peer-to-peer is what I'm thinking about doing to dump 25% of my constitutional stack. The reason being is, at this point, I think taking some profits is be a good thing. I know some of you in the comments are going to be like, no, hold. But let's look at the numbers here. 140 face of constitutional equals 1 ounce. $1.40 times 24 times face comes out to $33.60 an ounce. At my LCS, backdate Silver Eagles, they told me I could get backdate Silver Eagles for $32 each. If I wanted the 2022 latest and greatest edition, they're charging $37. Their generic 1 ounce rounds and bars, which is what I have right here, I can pick them up for $25 an ounce. But if I buy constitutional, the premiums are so high, it's $33.60 an ounce. This is where, in my strategy, I need to dump on the open market, not through the LCS, but on the open market, peer-to-peer, dump 25% of my constitutional stack, and then buy into generic rounds and generic 1 ounce bars at $25 an ounce. Silver's floating what, 21? I think it took a dive today, 35 cent dive. So I may be a little off, but I think it's right around, it's holding at 21. It might have dipped below 21. But let's go back a little bit. When silver was hovering up around 27, tag 20, 29 a little bit, and everybody thought it was going to 30, we were still getting this constitutional. We were getting this constitutional at 18 times face when silver was pegging that 27 to $29 range. Now it since came down, but when it came down, the premiums went up, and now this stuff, constitutional, we're only at $21 an ounce for silver, and this is trading at 24 times face for $33.60 an ounce. This is becoming, constitutional silver is becoming the highest premium silver you can put your hands on. I mean, I can pick up backdated Eagles for 32. So in a way, other than just trying to top up some tubes, why am I buying this when a backdated Eagle is, if I was going to buy a $1.40 face, I'd better off to get my ounce of silver buying the silver Eagle. Best case right now at my LCS, generic 1 ounce rounds and bars at 25 is the better play. Technically, that's only $4 over spot. And that's something none of these other channels are talking about. Everybody's pushing the buy, and they've gotten away from the core principles as to where you buy your silver as close to spot as possible. I know this video is going long. I'm sorry for that. I got to put out a long one every once in a while because I've got to stress my strategies, and I gotta have everybody. I mean, look at this. Now, I don't know what it is at your LCS, but the deal I'm getting for generic is $25 an ounce. Backdate silver Eagles for 32. I've put a stay on buying silver Eagles unless I need one for my for my collection that I have going. I need one of each. But constitutional, with the way the premium is, $33.60 an ounce when you buy a $1.40's worth at 20 times face, 24 times face. Folks, this is getting outrageous. This is getting stupid. This is the better play. They told me no, I should not. Silver's going up. I'm sorry. I got a decision. I'm thinking on it. Haven't made a 100% decision yet, but I'm seriously thinking of dumping 25% of my stack and take my profits. A lot of what I have stacked up, because I slowed down on buying when we hit 20 times face, but a lot of my constitutional stack I got when it was 10, 12, 13, 15 times face. I mean, heck, I was buying silver proof sets that nobody wanted, that other people were saying, well, that doesn't belong in a stack or stack. Heck, I was buying those. I was buying those silver sets for when constitutional hit 18 and then went to 20 times face. I was still buying those silver proof sets for 14, 15 times face. And everybody, was laughing and saying, oh, it doesn't belong in a stack or stack. That's numismatics. It's freaking 90% silver. The Kennedy in it is no different than these Walking Liberties here. Matter of fact, it's got more silver because it's a freaking proof. There's no wear on it. So anyways, I'm rambling on. Video's running long. That's my strategy. Let me know down below. What do you think of the Standing Liberty and the Barbers? What do you think of these? I just realized doing this video that these are from the world. Both of these are from the Worldwide Mint. And what do you think of my thoughts of dumping 25% of my stack on the open market? Let me know your thoughts down below, and I'll see you on another one.